Good evening. Thanks for joining us on the NWP call this evening. My name is Rich Simmonds, and I'm not here to give you any financial advice. This is all based on my personal experience. And it's important that you understand how your funds will be used. And please remember that past performance does not guarantee any future results. Right, so my goal is very simple, and that's to help you achieve a consistent weekly income. The purpose of NWP was to provide everyone with a sustainable income, and that's for you and your future generations. With NWP, you're not a member, you're a partner, and there's two ways that you can participate as a partner with NWP. And the first one's with a portfolio. That means you've got a deposit in the system. And the other one is simply just by being a partner, and that means that you can partake in the affiliate plan and get all the benefits from the affiliate plan. In the first part of this presentation, we'll be looking at the partners with portfolios, and in the second half, we'll look at the way that you can earn some extra money from the affiliate plan. The offices of NWP are situated in the Trump Towers in Istanbul in Turkey. That's where they're registered, and that's where they, as a company, are regulated. So it's in a prominent position in Turkey, not some little backyard office somewhere. The profits that are generated, these are generated on a weekly basis for you. They're done by expert traders, so you don't need to have any trading experience or any experience whatsoever. It's basically like putting your money into a savings account. Except with a savings account, you might get your returns on a monthly or yearly basis, whereas with NWP, you're going to get it on a weekly basis. The profits generated are generated using the Forex and commodities markets. Commodities means oil, gold, silver. Those are typically the commodities used. And then no more than 20% of your capital will be used on a weekly basis, sometimes up to 30%. But that's generally what's used, and there's specific reasons why they'll only use a small amount of your capital on a weekly basis. And we'll have a look at that, and the main reason is for you to understand what makes NWP different from every other company basically out there in the marketplace. And the first thing is, just like a savings account, you always have access to your capital. Although in a savings account, you might say that's a 30-day account. With NWP, your capital is available on a weekly cycle. So after the week of trading, you could take your profit and you could take your deposit or your capital at the same time. It's your choice. If you choose to leave your capital there, it stays with the brokers, but you can get your capital whenever you need it. Typically, investments would be locked away for 1 to 5 years. So it's a really long time. With NWP, it's a weekly cycle. Then the next thing that makes this company very different from anything else is the fact that your capital, as I mentioned, will remain with the broker, but all profits are separated from that on a weekly basis, and you'll receive your profits on a Saturday. These profits are sent to a third-party payment gateway where you can withdraw them instantly. So that's the second reason what makes the company different. And then the third reason is that because of that, step 1 and 2, step 1 being the fact that you can withdraw your capital and your capital is always accessible to you, and then the profits are separated and the traders have to make sure that you are receiving your profits on a weekly basis. This keeps them very accountable. So there's no sort of funny business that can take place. It's all accessible, it's all transparent, and it makes them, it manages them, because often companies don't have the experience to manage traders. The system here manages the traders, and you don't need experience in the company to manage the traders. So the system does that for you, and it does that for everybody. And because of this accountability, you also are effectively the auditor of the system, because you, as a partner, drawing your capital or your profits, whatever you decide to do, you are checking the system. on a weekly basis, and that every single partner in NWB is also can check in the system on a weekly basis because he's withdrawing his profits. Basically, why would you leave your profits there? They're not going to do anything for you, so you'd want to withdraw them. When you're withdrawing your profits, you check in the system. I'm sure you've been in companies before where you have to ask people, have you made a withdrawal? Have you done this? Have you done this? Well, all of those questions that you would normally ask is the normal weekly process of NWP. And that's what makes this company so different. On a weekly basis, the profits are split. What you're seeing here is the gross profit, meaning that's the full result of the trade for the week. The trades go into different portfolios according to your deposit that you've made, and we'll look at the different portfolios in a moment. But here's the profits from this last week. And what you'll see is the gross profit, which is the total profit, is then divided 50-50 into the partner profit and the business volume. The partner profit that you see in there is what people with deposits received on their deposits this last week. The business volume, that's the other side, and that goes to sustain the business of NWP. And that also pays the affiliate bonuses. And it's important to remember that because it's often an interesting question. Where does the money for the affiliate plan come from? Well, the 50-50. 50% of the profits go to the partners with portfolios. Those are the people with the deposits or the portfolios there. And the other side of the business is sustaining the company and the affiliate plan. So that's how it works, and it's a weekly cycle. There are different portfolios. These are the portfolios. Now, although there's a target on a monthly basis, you receive your profits on a weekly basis. Every single week, you'll receive profits from your deposit that you've made. Being in the foundation portfolio means you've started with $10 or more, and the monthly target there that the traders look for is 5%. That's an accumulative monthly target, or a monthly target over 4 weeks, you could say. So you can divide 5 by 4 to give you an idea of what you could potentially get on a weekly basis. Remember, it's not a guarantee, so some weeks are better than others, but it's a consistent result that we have been getting over the last 67 weeks. The next portfolios are the growth portfolios. This starts at $10,000 or more, and the monthly target there is 8% or higher. And then you look at the elite portfolios. This is deposits of $50,000 or more and receiving a monthly target there of 10%. Now, when you're ready to start, you can enter the system with the following cryptocurrencies. That's USDT, BNB, USDC, and on the Ethereum, the Binance network, and the Polygon network. Any deposit made before midnight on a Monday, that's midnight on UK time on a Monday, those deposits will still receive profits on the Saturday. If your deposit is after the Monday, then you'll receive your profits the following week. And then every single week after that. As long as you keep your deposit in the system, you'll receive profits every week. Taking your money out of the system or withdrawing is done in the following cryptocurrencies. That's both in USDT, and that's either on the Polygon or the Binance network. Your minimum withdrawal is $5. There's a 5% fee charged on the withdrawal of profits or bonuses, but this is the only fee ever charged by the NWP system. So that's 5%. If you, for instance, were drawing $10, 5% of $10 is 50 cents. Therefore, you'll receive $9.50 in your crypto wallet. The first time you will take out your capital, there's no charge on that. And then subsequent withdrawals of capital, there's a 2% fee charged on that. Those are the only fees. There's no subscription fees, trading fees, or anything like that. That's the only fees charged by the NWP system. Now let's just look at that weekly cycle that I've spoken about. You would start, you put your money into a portfolio, it then trades. Trading takes place from Monday to Friday. This is where the profit generation comes from, that forex and commodity trading. The profits are then sent to the payment gateway, where you can then withdraw these on a Saturday. So by the time you wake up on a Saturday morning, if you're in the European Africa region, you'll find that when you wake up, your profits are in your back office and you can make that withdrawal. That's provided you have a minimum of $5. If you haven't got $5, those profits are still separated and they are sent to the payment gateway. They're just waiting for you to accumulate $5 so that you can make your withdrawal. That withdrawal then goes to your private crypto wallet or your transfer wallet, and you decide what you want to do with that money and you enjoy it. Now, there is no automatic compounding in the NWP system, meaning that you cannot simply take your profits and put them back within the system. This is an external thing. So in other words, you need to withdraw your profits because they are already externalized from the system, being in the third-party payment gateway. You would then take those profits from the third-party payment gateway via a manual withdrawal into your crypto wallets, the instant withdrawal. It takes about a minute or two. You would get that into your wallet, and then you decide what you want to do. If you want to put that back into the NWP system, for instance, you would simply deposit it and open another portfolio for yourself. That when that portfolio is there, it continues to trade and make profits for you on a weekly basis. NWP offers WhatsApp chat support. That number's based in Canada, and the girls are very helpful. That's the quickest way of getting hold of support. If you need to email them, it's a little bit slower, but they will still respond to you there. But I would recommend the WhatsApp chat for a quick turnaround time there. The website of NWP is nwprofits.com. NW stands for networkprofits.com. And as I mentioned earlier, the offices are in the Trump Towers in Istanbul in Turkey. When you're ready to start, please ask the person who invited you for this little link tree. This gives you a whole lot of information, extra information to how to get started, a guide to cryptocurrencies and using it in the system, and videos and all that sort of thing. Probably explained much better than I'm doing on this presentation this evening. So do get yourself that link tree so that you can watch and make yourself familiar with the system. There is a structured income program. That is something different in the back office, but let me explain to you the basics of the structured income program. And really what it is when you put the same amount into a portfolio every month for 22 months, after 22 months, your capital will be sufficient for you to generate the normal monthly income. So you wouldn't need to make the 23rd month because there would be sufficient capital because of the 22 months that you've paid in. Now, this means no compounding is taking place. You're simply taking those weekly profits, spending them, or even using them towards your monthly contribution. If you wanted to speed this up, you could do that in 15 months by simply taking your profits on a weekly basis, putting them back into your account, and you'll find that the 16th month, your whole system would be on, the whole system would be on an automatic process. So never underestimate the power of starting small and staying consistent. SRP helps you do that. Now there's the crocodile, and you might have been invited here this evening because you've heard about the crocodile promotion, for instance. This is the power of $12. This was launched on Tuesday. It's only running for 20 days, so don't drag your heels on this one. How it works is you'll put in $12, NWP adds $28 to that for you, and you then earn on $40. It's as if you invested $40. So you'll get profits on $40 on a weekly basis, and that will come to an end once you've earned a total of $40. So $12 increased to $40, and you'll get the profits on that. The only thing about the crocodile is, please remember that it's only one per person. If you have had any of the previous boosters from the company, you won't be entitled to the crocodile, and it ends when you receive $40 in total profits. You won't be getting your $12 back. That's included in the $40. It's just a way of accelerating your experience with NWP. Right, so I mentioned that there's a way to make some extra money by building a community, and this will also help you build a consistent weekly income, because all bonuses from the affiliate plan are paid every single week. You don't need to have a personal portfolio yourself, so regardless of your financial situation, you can still benefit from the affiliate plan offered by NWP. Now, remember, as I mentioned earlier, there's a profit split, and this is where the bonuses from the affiliate plan come. More importantly, you need to understand that all profits are earned on profits made by the company on a weekly basis. You are never paid any bonus from someone else's deposit. So therefore, it's 100% sustainable, and there can be no funny business. There are three ways to earn weekly from the affiliate plan. That's a direct bonus, the binary bonus, and the matching bonus. The direct bonus, this is when you've referred someone, they put some deposit into the system, they open a portfolio. Whatever profit they earn on a weekly basis, you will earn 15% of that. And you'll continuously earn week after week as long as they keep their deposit in the system. They take their deposit out the system, they're not making any profit, you won't make any bonus. That's how the system works. Now, what you'll notice is that there is a referral link left and right in your back office. That's because that's what's called a binary system. Therefore, you have team on your left and your right, and I'll explain that to you in a moment. Just to have a look at how the profits work again, so that you can be very clear that you're not earning from someone else's money. You deposit into the different portfolios, that's the foundation, growth, or elite portfolios. You'll earn your profit, and your profit comes from the 50% split of the trading profits from the week. Any bonuses paid out on the affiliate plan side of things comes from the business volume. That's the other side. So your 50% that you earn as someone with a deposit has nothing to do with the other side, and vice versa. Everything is sustainable, and you can see it's completely transparent as to where the profits come from. Let's just use an example of your direct bonus and what you would earn. Let's say your referral's got a deposit in the system. He earns $100 for the week. You will earn 15% of that, meaning that he earns $100, and you, as the person who referred him, would earn 15%, and that's $15. The next bonus that you can earn on a weekly basis is the binary income, and this you earn on 15% of the matched business volume, or easier way to say that is the lesser team in your business. The only problem is with the binary bonus, it's capped to $5,000 a week. So it is a little bit of a problem. But of course, $5,000 a week is not to be sneezed at. So it's reasonable. Let's put it that way. You've got a left team and a right team. And remember, spillover volume does count in the binary. Let's use an example here. Max invited Joe. Joe joined the business as a referral of Max. So Max will be earning that direct bonus from Joe, for instance. However, he's still going to be earning the binary, although he only brought in Joe to the company. Erica is what's considered spillover. Erica effectively came from someone, it might have been the person who introduced Max. But the system doesn't care who brought in who. It looks at the structure, and in this case, Erica falls under Max in his structure on the right-hand side here, and therefore Max has got volume on the right side of his business and on the left side of his business, and he will earn binary on the lesser side of the business. And as you can see here, it just so happens that Joe is his lesser side. It could be Erica, it could be Joe, it doesn't really matter. The system will pay the binary on the lesser side volume. So to be binary qualified, you don't need to bring in people on both sides. It's a different, in other businesses, they require you to bring in people on both sides. But the system doesn't require that. All you need to do is have volume on your left and right. So Max, for instance, is there. He had 2 people, but he only introduced 1. In the case, the same picture in the front of you here, the red person was the only person introduced by the pink person, and the rest of the business happened, and there is volume on the left and right-hand side of the pink person's business here. They're binary qualified because of that, and they will earn the bonus on a weekly basis. Then there's the matching bonus. This is the third bonus paid on a weekly basis. And the simple way to understand the matching bonus is when you've referred someone and they start earning the binary bonus, you will earn 5% of whatever they earn from the binary on a weekly basis. There's no limits to any of these. So you earn on level 1 up to level 3. Level 1 being your direct referrals, then level 2 is the referrals of those referrals, and the level 3 is the referrals of those level 2 partners. So those are the 3 bonuses that you can earn on a weekly basis. And remember that as long as there's volume in your business, from either your direct referrals or just volume in your binary structure, you will receive bonuses on a weekly basis. Now moving on to the career rewards. This is not a weekly thing, although you could achieve this in a week very easily. The career rewards has got no time limit on it. So whether it takes you a week or it takes you 10 years or 20 years to earn these sort of money from the binary, you will still get your rewards. So it's a cumulative, and as you hit these milestones, you will receive the rewards. The top reward here is a Rolex watch when you've earned 25,000 from the binary. As I say, that could take you a couple of months, a couple of years. It doesn't matter. When you achieve that, you will get your Rolex watch and the other prizes that are listed there as well, or rewards that are listed there. Then there's the ambassador rewards. Again, no time on this. It's a leadership qualification. So once you've helped 2 people in your left side of your business achieve their Rolex watches and 2 people on the right achieve Rolex watches, you'll receive 10,000 down payment on a car. Then there's international trips, gold and jewelry. There's cash bonuses, a Mercedes-Benz, and a luxury villa. Those are the ambassador rewards, and that is my presentation for this evening. I'm here to answer your questions and help you understand this business. So what would you like to know? Please let me know. Thank you.
Hi, Rich. Can I get a few seconds?
Yes, sure. Please do. Thanks, Jan.
Yes. I know you guys, I won't say guarantee, but you do say that the target is 5% a month on the first one. That's where most of us are, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
But my question is a little bit about how can I won't say they guarantee, but how do they manage to deliver this consistent result? I think we're up in 68 weeks or something now.
Yes, we're in the 68th week. That's correct, yes.
As far as I know, we haven't had a negative week yet or a negative month yet, or week for that matter, but I do know that we've also never gone below 5%, have we?
That's
We've
correct.
always been over consistently. How do they do that? What happens? Do they use more of our money or more than the 20%? Or when they see it's going low, they risk a bit more, or what do they do?
Well, yeah, initially, yes, they will, if they will use 20% as a rule. If they need to use a little bit more, they will approach the brokers, and the brokers will then give them a bit more to trade with. But the main thing to realize is that this is asset management. the brokers, together with the traders, have to manage the fund. And the reason why there's a target there as opposed to no target, where if there was no target, you'd simply get whatever the profits were on a weekly basis. However, it would be very nice if you get a nice profit the one week, but if you have a loss the following week, then what would happen? Would they be taking your capital? And that's the big problem. So instead of having those sort of up and downs, it's a managed fund. What they do is then should there be a very good week, they'll keep some money in reserve. They'll then use those reserves for weeks where there could potentially be losses. So that's the way it works on a managed basis. And remember, they're working on a target of 5% on the smaller portfolios on a monthly basis. And as you say, if we look at the last 67 weeks, we've actually received on average on the monthly basis about 5.6% on a monthly basis. So it's over the 5% target. So you're not just getting the 5%, but they are managing it. I mean, I know that, for instance, in December, and if any of you have watched the news and see what turmoil there is in the market, there is no potential that you could make profits every single week. And that's where the management of it comes in, because in the times when things are really bad, those reserves kick in to give you that smooth, consistent effect. And that's what NWP does for you. So they're not guaranteeing that you will get 5% or 8% or 10%. That's impossible. But they do manage it to the best of their ability to make sure that you are getting what they've set out to, or they try their best to give you those targets. And they have achieved that over the last 67 weeks. But again, there is no guarantee that they would be able to do that forever. So, it's a week-to-week basis, and you decide for yourself how you feel on a weekly basis. And if you feel that you feel comfortable with the system anymore, then you're more than welcome to withdraw your profits, which you have to do anyway, because it's not going to do anything if you didn't withdraw your profits. But if you wanted your capital back, you're more than welcome to do that on a weekly basis as well. And that's how the system works. So I hope that gives you the answer that you were looking for there, Jan.
Yes, thank you very much. There is one other question though, is what if, at what stage, let's say they keep on keeping profits aside a little bit to make up for the possible future losses, and at some stage they have a good pool of money. What happens to that? Let's say after a year or something like that. Do they pay it out, or do they?
No, what you'll notice if you look at the results from the weeks, some weeks you might be getting, let's say, 1.4%. And then in 2 weeks' time, you might see, oh, but I got 2% this week. And that's where the extra came from, is when they decide that there's too much in the reserve, then they'll share the profits on the weekly basis with you. You won't be waiting a long time. So they obviously work towards targets. If those reserves get too high, you'll receive them in your weekly profit.
Okay, thank you very much. Now I understand. Dankie.
Good. Have you all seen the crocodile? Do you understand how it works? Remember that if you are taking the crocodile, you don't only have to take your crocodile. You can put money in at any stage. You can add to your your portfolios, and you can take away from your portfolios whenever you like. The only thing that it takes round dollars, it doesn't take any cents. So if you've got $15.30 in your checking wallet, the system will only take 15. It won't take the 30 cents. So, but it will take whatever you want to give it, other than in the round dollar numbers. But it's not round 20s, 10s, or hundreds, or that sort of thing. It can be any amount of dollars without the cents that the system would accept.
And the minimum withdrawal is $5, if I remember correctly.
The minimum withdrawal is $5. That's correct, yeah.
But you can withdraw in cents as well.
Yes, you can withdraw in cents. That's correct, yeah.
Yeah.
You would just need to make sure that you've got enough to cover the fee. That's all, which is, you don't pay that in. It's just that you would need, if you were wanting, and you can make the withdrawal provided you've got $5. But if you were, let's say, for instance, you were wanting to put $10 back into the system and you had exactly $10, then you would probably not withdraw it that week unless you've got some money lying in your external wallet that you could add to that. Because remember that if you were withdrawing $10, you're going to receive $9.50 because the 5% fee is taken. So you won't have enough then to open a new portfolio. So you would just wait until you had about $10.60 or something like that. Then you would know that when you make that withdrawal, you'll have enough to open a new portfolio. Obviously, if you're just wanting the money out, then $5 you can make that withdrawal.
I reach Chris here.
Hi, Chris. How are you doing?
Yeah, good. Yourself?
Good, thank you.
Great. Yeah, just regarding the withdrawals of $5 or more,
Yes.
and new investment of $10, 10, 11, 12, in other words, round numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Just want to say that, if people wonder about that, it's not that you must only now withdraw $5, $6, $7. You can withdraw, let's say, $5.49 or
Yes.
something like that. You just need to leave. Let's say if you have $5.49, you need to leave the 0.01 cents. You can withdraw $5.48.
Yes, that's correct. 100%. And sometimes you can withdraw the whole thing, but remember that because it's USDT in your back office, you'll see that it's, let's say, $5.10. It's showing the 10 cents because it's rounded up, or it might be rounded down. If you were rounding up, then you would have effectively $5.09 that you can withdraw. If it was rounding down, well, then you would definitely be able to get the $5.10. But as a easy rule, as Chris said there, if you leave 1 cent, your withdrawal will always go smoothly. Otherwise, you might have to try it again if you didn't do that. So it's only 1 cent that you potentially need to leave in the system. So if you're trying to make a withdrawal and you're seeing, hang on, but it says I've got $6.78, it's not allowing me to draw $6.78, then you just make it $6.77 and your withdrawal goes through immediately. It's just because of that rounding effect. Thanks.
Yes, I must say I've seen with the rounding effect, because I also have an Excel spreadsheet, and now what the system displays and what my Excel spreadsheet displays is not 100% the same. It's about a cent or 2 cents difference, because you don't see the third, fourth, and fifth digit, on the system. So yeah, then after a while, say, oh, okay, something is a little bit different here, and I've tried to find out where it works, what's going on here, and then I eventually discovered, oh, okay, it must be because of the rounding effect. Yeah, not
Yes.
that's a major thing. I mean, it's like the third digit about, so that maybe differs.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Yeah, of course, if you want it to really be accurate, you need to take the gross profit that you see in your back office and then work out the profit for yourself on your spreadsheet up to the 6th digit or something like that. And then you'd probably get a better idea. You just need to know from the start how many, to be able to track it effectively. But we're splitting hairs on a couple of cents here. That's
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Just one thing, just to clarify, I think I understand it now, but just to clarify, let's say a person's got $100. He gets now his 5% per month. exactly 5%. So if I want to work out my commission for, the 15% commission, so I can say it is 15% of $5.
Yes. Yeah,
Is
that's
that
right. Yeah,
correct?
that's correct. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And you can see actually how much commission you earn from each individual by going to the, I cannot remember what you name it, but what you call it, but the organogram,
Yeah.
and where you
Well,
can see how much everybody's got in the system and where they, if it's a direct referral, can work it out from there.
yes. In the genealogy tree, if you click on the person's name, and that'll be the person who in your structure. It doesn't have to be someone that you necessarily referred yourself. You will see what their you won't see how much deposit they've got themselves, but you will see what their structure looks like underneath them. So it'll tell you, if you were clicking on Chris, for instance, it'll tell you how much volume he's got in his left and how much volume he's got in his right-hand side of his business. Just as if you click on your own name in the genealogy tree, you will see that. And that's the same as what you actually see in your back office for your left deposit and your right deposit. Remember, that's your deposit that you've seen. It's not your business volume on a weekly basis. That is determined from the profits on a weekly basis. So it will give you the total deposit in your left and right leg so that you can do that calculation and check the system should you wish to. So that is available in your back office in the genealogy tree, as well as in your actual back office. It'll give you your left and right volume, and that's
Okay.
It doesn't show your own deposit in the system. That is listed under your portfolios in your back office as well. So the deposit left and right is your team, your foundations is your personal deposits.
Yeah. Okay, I've got it. One other question I've got is regarding the 3 levels: level 1, 2, 3, 5%, 5%, 5%.
Yes.
Let's say I've got a big network and I introduce someone who actually will fall in my network, let's say on level 4. Will that person then be out of those 3 levels, or will it work with his level 1, level, he then be like a level 1, if I can call it like that?
Well, yeah, okay. So let me open a whiteboard, because I think it's quite sort of interesting how we look at those levels in that explanation. Because if you look here, let's say, for instance, you've brought in, here's you, and you've introduced Johan, and you've introduced Joe, and you've introduced Peter. Okay. But all 3 of these are your referrals. Okay. These are all level 1 for you. Even though they're in your structure, they look like 1, 2, 3 levels, because this is, it differs from the binary picture, because all your levels are effectively on your first level here. These are all your referrals. So this is your level 1. Then
it's actually a complete different structure, if you can call it like that.
Yes, yeah. This is what's called a uni-level structure. It's not a binary structure.
Yeah.
And then, of course, this is your level 2. Okay, it's that guy's first levels.
Yeah.
Okay, and then, of course, level 3 would be these people's referrals. And you can have as many people on your first line referrals as you want. And it will determine level 2 will be that your referrals, and then. So the structure is different. And I think that's where it can be a little bit confusing, because you've paid on a uni-level structure here and not a binary structure in the matching bonuses.
Yeah. Meaning that the person can be on the the binary structure can be on my level 4 or 5, but on the uni level is my level 1.
That's correct.
Two different structures.
That's 2 different structures. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. I understand. Thank you, sir.
Pleasure.
Rich, yes, it's me again.
Yes, Jan.
That level, all those levels and things, where can we see on the computer what we've done? Because I lost track. I don't know who's where.
On your referral ones. So it's on your computer on a weekly basis. You'll get 3 reports. The first, it's actually 4 reports, because the first one will be your own profit report, what you made in profit on a weekly basis. Then the next one is what you earned from your referrals. So all the people you referred, and according to, so that will be your direct bonuses. All of those people will be in your list as your referrals, and you'll be earning 15% of them. Then the next one is the binary, and that'll give you the total left and right, what the business volume was, and what you earned from the binary that week. Then the third report is the matching bonus report, and that will then show all your referrals on level 1 who are binary qualified. It will then show you everyone in your structure that's on level 2 that's binary qualified, and then it will show you what you've earned from those, and also your level 3s. And that whole complete report is in your back office on a weekly basis under your matching bonus report. Just to let everyone know, we will be having a training session next week, Wednesday, on how to use the cryptocurrencies, make a withdrawal, make a redeposit, and specifically using wallets like your SafePal wallet. We'll use SafePal wallet as an example, because the what's known as the private crypto wallets all operate on a very similar system. So whether you're using Exodus, MetaMask, Token, or any of those other wallets like that, they will work in a very similar way. We will talk about exchanges and why you potentially shouldn't use exchanges for anything but bringing, if you exchanges there for one reason only, and that's there when you want to come into the system, therefore sell your local currency, or rands, your dollars, your nairas, whatever you got, and you want to sell that for currency and get yourself into the system, or whether when you want to take your profits and get them back into your bank. That's when you use an exchange. Any other time, if you're not doing those 2 routes, you wouldn't use an exchange. You'd simply use a private wallet, because it's much cheaper and far more efficient and quicker than using an exchange. And I mean, this is money, and you've got to be a good steward of your money, so you don't want to waste any money. And that's why you'd use a private crypto wallet as opposed to an exchange. And also, by having your private crypto wallet, you're in control, not the exchange. And so we'll do that training next week on Wednesday night at 8 o'clock South African time. And just look out, there will be messages on the group about that training. And then also we will be covering the new BEP20 USDT that's offered as a withdrawal now on the NWP system as well. So you can withdraw in Polygon USDT or BEP20 USDT. And we'll look at the 2 differences and when you would potentially use one, when you would potentially use the other. And we'll go through all of that next week. Right. Thanks very much, everyone. Do have a good evening further, and we'll see you on Tuesday night's call and then Wednesday night's training for the crypto. Do have a good weekend. Remember to look out for your profits, and don't just leave them there. If you've got a couple of dollars and you need to do something with it, withdraw it and go and use it. Don't just leave it in the system. All right. Thank you very much. Thanks for your time. Good night.